Thanks for staying with us here on The Pulse. Now, there's growing anger and frustration over President John Dramani Mahama's reluctance to declare a state of emergency on all polluted river bodies amidst increasing destruction and acute water shortage. A recent data from the Environmental Protection Agency and Pure Earth has indicated the earth, water and food crops, including tomatoes, coconut, mangoes, contomere, and others have all been poisoned with mercury, lead, and cyanide in 6 regions, with Konongo Zongo, Konongo Dumase, and the Western region being the worst hit areas. But more worrying, really, is fresh data from the Ghana Water Company Limited in the Central region, which has shown a record 94,800 turbidity levels in the River Yenso that feeds the Kwayanko treatment plant, which officials say cannot be treated. Listen.
Around back then, we record color 450, 400, and the turbidity was around 33. Yeah. That is some
on average.
Yes, on average. You can see we even get 25 for turbidity, 31, 32.
Which was fine.
Which was fine. That one, the system was working well with it. You can see. This is on the 6th of September. On the 6th of September, yeah. So the turbidity, they recorded 94,800.
And the normal should be around what?
You can see, like 50. Yes, like 50. So even if it has gone so bad, like 500. It's even too much for the system. But now 94,800. Then the color 105,000. Okay, color of about 100, maybe maximum 500 is now 105,000. Okay, so you can see it was written there are no flock formation, therefore no supernatant for analysis.
What does it mean?
After the dosage the person added, after performing the test, it didn't coagulate. It didn't coagulate. The water was so bad, so it couldn't coagulate. So after even leaving it to settle, it didn't settle. So they couldn't get even the supernatant to even record.
Speaking on PM Express on Tuesday, member of the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey Destruction bemoaned the reluctance of the president to declare a state of emergency despite the loss of 8 compatriots to the menace, as he called out government officials who were loud on the matter while in opposition to speak up now.
I see the president, and I know him a bit. He's a good, nice man. Whatever is holding him, I don't know. John Mama is a good, fine man. His brain is on point. His children are sweet people. I can't understand that he would think of other people's children to drink this water. I don't think the first lady in her sanity would ever sit down and approve of any of this when one of the people she loves the most has died. Why should the minister of lands be raving and ranting as if he's the only one on the street? Where are the people who said 1 week? Sam George, my brother, Igbo Yo. Okujato, where are you? We have to call you out. My own brother rocks in that here, Paul. You cannot change your mouth. Please, it's not about your party. It is about Ghana. There should be something we should stand for. Somebody should die for something. Omani, my brother, he died for something, but his own people cannot even make what he died for even count. They are thinking that they've raised 3-something million or 6-something million using government donations and all that blah 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 to use that to mask and say I'm thinking of your family. That's the small thinking that you people have. Nothing, small thinking. You think you give people money and that is it. It's not just what he wants. He wants you to transform this country. That's why Omani would have been a fine president. Please, we should stand for something. If you're an NDC man and this is happening, talk to your people, stand out. You should have honor. You can't be an MP with reasonability, with mandate, with allegiance to the Constitution of Ghana. And you see this and keep quiet and come and have the audacity to come and maybe discuss the fact that the president never used the word state of emergency. Nonsense. Do you have a heart? Do you have a heart? Do you have a conscience?
The University Teachers Association has consistently threatened to shut down the universities if government does not act. Well, the national president, Professor Mahmoud Akudugu, says that a critical decision will be made next week after the expiration of a 90-day ultimatum to the president.
Most likely, we are having our Congress just next week, and that'll mark the end of the 3 months that we give. And so our biennial national Congress will be next week, and definitely Congress will take a decision as to what will be the next action. And we believe that definitely something concrete, they will take a concrete decision as to the next steps if nothing happens by the time that we go for Congress.
Yeah.
And we are hopeful that I've just seen a statement somewhere that the Ghana Medical Association has also raised some issues.
Yeah.
We are hopeful that other associations will join this time and will not retreat when we reach that critical moment of pulling the trigger.
We went to Agbogbloshie market to get the reaction of traders and buyers to that EPA pure air data that revealed that poison has been found in food crops due to Galamsey. My colleague Noella Karinyale has more.
Accra's largest food hub, many traders and shoppers are either unaware of the report or simply don't believe it. Brighter woman, a tomato seller, hadn't heard about it.
Say what's the report? I be minty. So me kasa my tea and me boy minty. What's the anka then anka be? Oh, anyone say be kasa che omo. Na sa chemicals na omo dey no omo ntwa so. Na omo fanye bi.
Others, like Ya Ekuma, had heard of the findings, but dismissed them as impossible.
Oh, yate ni ntosi die wo ye na wo sa bia ya ho enyeyi. Ntosi bia ye ntosi de o tu gold wo ha ntosi na enyeyi.
Enyeyi say.
Ebe wukura. Ebe kunua ni nyina. Nti bia ye dua ntosi de emme bia tu go.
Enti me fifi.
Ansokra.
For Ma Fosti, who sells kontomire, or cocoyam leaves, the claim is hard to believe. She insists the leafy vegetable could never grow on poisoned land.
Matibete nenye no kresa. Die metimi aka wo mu ni se. Wei enu akasa na esuogu so a etimi fifi. Ni tam so se wote ana wate. Efri tete amani fi ye minyi ekra manya be 55. Enya no kure se asase a chemicals wo mu no kontomire ntumi fifi wo ho. Okay. Abeduro ntumi fifi wo because ase ewura ni nyina e wo ho. Nti ebi ma.
Some shoppers like Bichis Larbi say even if the food is contaminated, washing with salt is enough to remove the danger.
Me pacho me dia nsesame. E say me toyi. Me kwa me den chinsuo bede warm water na me den chinsuo agu enchi agu na ma wohoro ho ansa na me de aye.
Well, let's explore this further now. Here on the pulse, joining me now is Awula Sewa. She's co-coordinator for Eco-Conscious Citizens. We appreciate your time here on the pulse. Now, there's a conversation we've been having, and at this point, for most people, the frustration is now mounting. We're just hearing from the Ghana Water Company that turbidity levels in the central region has reached all-time record high. For you, this is of concern. How do we deal with this moving forward?
We need the political will to deal with this problem. We have been saying over and over and over again that we're on the verge of an ecological catastrophe. I'm not quite sure what else we are waiting for. We've been told about the levels of mercury with kontomire. We know our vegetables are contaminated. We've been seeing for a long time that once the water is contaminated, it will enter the food. So this is of no surprise whatsoever. So what we need is to find the political will to fix this catastrophe. We need to declare a state of emergency and stop the cancer from growing. If we don't act, the window of opportunity will close. And it's very sad that some traders think that all you need to do is to wash the vegetables with salt. No, that will not cut it. We are being poisoned, and this situation will continue until the government tries to take strict, robust to deal with.
We've been hearing from government tell us that declaring a state of emergency would be their last resort. At least we've heard from the lands minister in an interview with GTV declare that moving forward, they're looking at instituting measures to ensure that areas like our forest reserves will be declared national security zones. Are you pleased with that move, at least?
You see, I don't know what is the matter with us. Before, when we were in opposition, we knew the problem. Nothing has changed. We were then, including the lands minister, asking the past government to declare a state of emergency. They were all asking for a declaration of a state of emergency. What has changed? We are in September. What are we waiting for to act swiftly? We're going to do this, we're going to do that. Why haven't we done it so far? What was important to us, the e-levy, the betting tax, setting up gold board, we have done it. And this is a catastrophe. Why are we not acting swiftly? As we speak, our water bodies are still polluted. Our waters are being diverted. The Encombra, others. What on earth are we waiting for? The number of kidney disease has gone 4 times. And it's as if we are dilly-dallying. We are going to do this, we are going to do that. Before we came into office, we could have had a series of measures we're going to take and then hit the ground running. What was the urgency of e-levy as compared to being poisoned, as compared to our health needs? I really don't know what to say. All I'm saying is that we're in September. It's almost a year gone, and virtually nothing serious has been done to confront this problem which we knew existed before we took office.
And moving forward, really, apart from just advocating for change, should we consider the legal route to compel government to declare a state of emergency?
Well, we have to use options available to compel the government to take swift, robust action. Because I keep on sounding like a spoiled record. The window of opportunity to deal with this cancer is closing. It's closing. How many people are not consuming contaminated food full of mercury? The number of kidney disease problems rises. Do we even have enough dialysis machines to deal with it? Money we are getting from the gold, does it equal the amount of money that we'll be spending on our health, the people who are dying, the deformed babies? It doesn't cut it. Very soon, nobody will want any food from Ghana. We'll not be able to export our cocoa. So it's only the few individuals who would have gotten rich from the illegal mining. The rest of Ghana will suffer. The 30-something odd million Ghanaians are all being poisoned. So I think that any legal means available will be used to ensure that the government declares a targeted state of emergency and begins to deal decisively with this problem. It is a shame that we are in September and we are still saying we're going to do this, we're going to do that. It's a shame.
And will you be taking that legal step? Will ECHO...
We're just saying things when we're in the position.
Would you be taking that step to start that legal battle?
Well, whatever steps need to be taken will be taken. I've listened to UTAG. They are also going to take steps. We will support whatever action is being taken. And I am confident that if everybody, Catholic Bishops' Conference has already called for a state of emergency, if everybody adds their voice, His Excellency the President will have no option but to call for a state of emergency. And I heard somebody talk about the 8 persons who died. We are very sorry about their death. But just remember, there's only not 8 people alone who have died. Let's remember all the children. We don't even know their names, who have fallen into open pits and died as a consequence of illegal mining. Their lives matter. So that we are encouraging all Ghanaians to say enough is enough, to be angry enough at being poisoned, to add their voices, and I'm confident that His Excellency the President will not want to go down in history as the President who supervised the poisoning of Ghanaians, as the President who failed to act when he could have acted to stop Ghanaians from being poisoned. I am certain that the President will call a state of emergency because the press is not going to stop, civil society is not going to stop. We're going to continue the pressure and take all necessary steps to ensure that the poisoning stops. It has to stop.
Thank you
Our
so
children
much.
will not forgive us for poisoning the lands that they are going to be left with, for supervising the decimation of our forest reserves. History will not forgive us.
Thank you so much, Awula Sewa, for your time here on the Pulse. Well, still on the issue of illegal mining, let's shift attention now to the national concern, Small Scale Miners Association of Ghana. They are pushing back on mounting calls for government to declare a state of emergency on all forms of mining activities. During the launch of its task force in Kumasi, the association described such demands as, quote, a lazy man's approach, unquote, to dealing with illegal mining menace. They caution that it would only create fear, disrupt livelihoods, and undermine ongoing interventions in mining sector. Nanabwachi Yadum has more in the following report.
National Small Scale Miners Association has unveiled a task force with the aim of complementing the government's existing anti-Galamsey interventions. President of the association, Michael Kujupepra, says the task force is to complement existing government efforts in tackling illegal mining.
The task force are members of our association, and they are, we have mandated them to go on the various water bodies to make sure that any person who is found on the water bodies mining with impunity will be cleared from these various places. More so, when the media is talking about illegal mining, they box small-scale miners and illegal miners.
Michael Pepra says the task force will work closely with state institutions to monitor mining activities, sensitize communities, and promote responsible small-scale mining practices.
We are in the communities and we know where these people are. And in so doing, the task force will work with the media so that people would understand the need to make sure that the people who are on the various water bodies are being cleared off. Because when the pressure comes, people always box small-scale miners and illegal miners. And that is what we want to let the country and guests to know, that small-scale miners are Ghanaians who have acquired their license and they are mining in the frame of the law. So anybody who is being seen mining with impunity and destroying our various water bodies, this task force is mandated to make sure these people are cleared off.
Meanwhile, the debate on the declaration of a state of emergency on Galamsey operations has intensified in recent weeks as CSOs sound the alarm at the destruction of forests, rivers and farmlands. The small-scale miners group, however, emphasized that a state of emergency could lead to heightened security crackdowns without addressing the root causes of illegal mining, such as unemployment and weak enforcement of mining regulation.
Away from that, the Ghana Police Service has arrested a notorious gang behind a string of violent robberies, including attacks on about 10 rural banks across 5 regions of the country. The IGP Christian Teteyonu, who addressed the media earlier today alongside with top officers of the Police Management Board, described the operation as a big strike against criminals who have terrorized financial institutions and communities, saying it is a major breakthrough. He revealed that 3 of the gang members were shot dead during the exchange of gunfire, whilst a manhunt is underway for the others who escaped.
Immediately got to work. After painstaking investigations, working with credible informants, analyzing available data, surveillance across several regions, we launched a targeted operation to arrest these criminal elements. This operation took us to the Ahafo, the Western, the Central, Eastern, and Ashanti region, in towns such as Esreso, Edija, Ejiso, Achiankrom, Atonso, Chirapatre, Ahua, Zongo, Aputoja, Abotem, please forgive me my language, Kasebost, Eswofua, Atosu Monaco, Pechi, Obuase, and Boho near Kronom. These are the hideouts of these criminals. I'm delighted to announce that we have successfully dismantled the gang behind all these robberies. So far, we have successfully arrested we have successfully arrested 10 suspects. 3 other suspects were shot dead in the course of the operation during a shootout with the police. We have launched a manhunt for the remaining suspects who are on the run. We will not stop until we get them arrested. We were also able to recover 14 weapons, including AK-47 rifles, pump-action guns, a single-barrel gun, pistols, ammunition, vehicles, mobile phones, among others.
IGP further announced promotions for some policemen who helped in tracking down the suspects.
Of the public who volunteered credible information to the police that contributed to this breakthrough. I want to take this opportunity to call all members of the public to support the police with information for successful investigation. Let us all be vigilant members of the community and report any suspicious persons or activities to the police. As you may be aware, the service is committed to rewarding credible information shared to support our investigation. In conclusion, I would like to assure you that the police will continue to make life uncomfortable for criminal elements in our society. We will continue to pursue you till you are brought to justice. On this note, I want to inform you that the Police Management Board have decided to promote 3 chief inspectors to the Police Academy. Three inspectors to chief inspector. 2 sergeants to inspector. 1 corporal to sergeant. 3 constables. They are lucky, very fresh. They are giving lance corporal. To the senior officers, the police council will take a decision on them. Thank you very much.
The Director General of the Criminal Investigations Department, COP Lydia Yako-Donko, disclosed that some of the weapons retrieved from the suspects actually belonged to police personnel who had their weapons snatched. In one incident, she tells us, a police officer was killed and his service weapon snatched by the gang.
Exhibits so far recovered by the police from the suspects include the following: 3 AK-47 assault rifles, 1 single-barrel gun with 1 AAA ammunition, 7 pump-action guns, and 96 rounds of AAA ammunition, 3 Bruni pistols with 40 rounds of ammunition, 1 M&P pistol with 4 rounds of ammunition, cash the sum of 18,845 Ghana cedis, $104 US, 190 Liberian dollars, 5,800 naira, 31,000 sefa, and a quantity of assorted Ghana coins. 6 vehicles, 4 motorbikes, assorted mobile phones, and jewelries. Ladies and gentlemen, it is worth noting that one of the AK-47 rifles marked GHGP/ASH/TEPA/TP/B1523 retrieved from this gang was a police service weapon issued to number 48034 G Corporal Francis Eduyao, then at Tepa Police District Headquarters, who was sadly attacked by armed robbers and killed on the Bibiani-Goso Highway on 29 November 2024 while he was returning from an official duty. This is an indication that this same gang committed that heinous crime. The other 2 AK-47 rifles, also service weapons, were snatched from officers who were on duty at Ecobank Ahafo Kenyasi when they were attacked by a gang of armed robbers on 8 September 2025. Between November 2024 and September 2025, the police administration responded to a series of bank robberies across the country. A critical analysis of these robberies revealed a similar modus operandi employed by the robbers. Their modus was that the gang armed with pump-action guns attack a bank, hold the security guards hostage, snatch their weapons, and then use industrial cutting machines to break into the vaults of the banks.
Well, let's explore this further here on The Pulse. Let me bring in Dr. Victor Doke. He is a security analyst, just to give us updates on how we should tackle this moving forward. We've just been hearing from the police service tell us the modus operandi of some of these individuals. They were targeting rural banks. Should we consider moving forward rigorous training for police personnel who will be posted to rural areas?
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I think it is essential that in every, when you're talking about the security space itself, I know frequently they give capacity building, retraining for the personnel. So ideally, the personnel should be going through rigorous capacity building from time to time. Now the issue here is with the fact that criminal elements have now gained, some level of smartness with regards to what monitoring police officers to the extent of knowing their movement and then their standard operation procedures to what attack them, take their service rifles, perpetuate acts of what crime. So in essence, we need to retrain. One aspect of retraining is how to ensure that our personnel have what situational awareness, to be aware of your situation. So I think this is an area where they need to focus. Those who are, into the training, the facilitators, the training school should look at how they can equip more with regards to intelligence and then your situational awareness afterwards as a personnel who is mandated to ensure peace and then enforce security.
And how do we beef up security, especially in rural areas and rural banks?
Well, rural areas are such that the aspects of personnel there are not like in the urban centers. So one, what we can do to assist the personnel in the rural areas is either increase their numbers, two, enforce some level of partnership with the community members. Okay, now you can go through the chiefs, the elders in the community, to have some young able men who are going to act as community watchdogs, helping with regards to security. And this is tied to the community policing that we have been preaching all about. We need to look at that aspect of community policing and invest more in it. So then, with the security there, the police there, these young men will be on the lookout, monitoring, providing what information, and some can also be recruited as well, informants, okay, which the intelligence networks do. So with these young able guys in the community, they are friends to people. They will definitely get something, offer intelligence for the police to act on. So these are some, these two main things: increase the personnel in these areas, and then involve the community members themselves.
And isn't it concerning really that these civilians were able to overpower the police service, seize their rifle, and kept on using it for months?
Exactly. And that tells us how our security system, the personnel themselves, can be at risk. Anyone can be at risk. So that's why I say we need to heighten our situational awareness as a person as a people, as security networks. So for an armed person or criminal element to attack a state official, to take his rifle and use for months, it also comes or begs the question, how do we track our weapons? We need to look at tracking mechanisms of the weapons. So if a weapon is missing today, it has the marking, the numbers. How then can we trace it and then act as soon as possible to retrieve that weapon so it won't be used to commit crime?
Thank you so much, Doc, for your time here on The Pulse. You're still watching The Pulse. When we return, we'll tell you about the Made in Space conference. Please stay with us.